What's your name?
Richard Rarey, R-A-R-E-Y.
And what branch of the military did you serve?
I was in the Air Corps.
Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I enlisted. I had, in the university, I took the civilian pilot training. At the end of that training, you were required to enlist either in the Army or the Navy Air Force. And I chose the Army Air Force.
Why is that?
Well, I had friends in that service.
So where'd you do your basic at then?
Well, I went into for pre-flight training, and then primary flight training down in Arcadia, Florida, and from there went to basic training down in Georgia, flight school. And I didn't do very good there. I couldn't recover from the stalls quick enough. They gave you a second opportunity, and I didn't do it, so you were out. And then they reclassified me as radio operator gunner. From there, I went to radio school in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and spent, I don't know, 6-7 months at radio school. And then from there to Las Vegas, Nevada for gunnery training, flying in B-17s, and then assigned to B-24s at Greenville, South Carolina, B-25s at Greenville, South Carolina. And we trained down there for several months and made up as a crew at that base. And I completed that training, and 6 crews of us put on a Pullman train, went to California, from California to Hawaiian Islands. We were assigned to the 7th Air Force, their rear echelon at Cahuga Point. We did some training there and waited until they needed replacement crews. And eventually we were called in, flew down to the Gilbert Islands and flew out of there.
Remember what year that was?
It was in 43. Things were winding down in that Central Pacific area at that time, and they recalled all the planes back to Hawaii to take the cannon out of the nose. We had 75mm cannon in the nose of the B-25, and they realized that they weren't very accurate, so they flew back to Hawaii. We were there for several months while they reconditioned the planes. They put 6 50 caliber guns in the nose of each plane, and they were really lethal.
How many missions did you fly in the B-25?
17. It was
17.
pretty much towards the end of the war. We flew back then after they got the planes refitted, and went to Okinawa and flew out of Okinawa and bombed over southern Japan at low level and some medium level.
Did you ever have any close calls with enemy fighters?
No, because we had either Marine air escorts or P-51s for the Army. The closest call we had was next to the last mission, which was low level. We came in low, and they were firing at us pretty heavily, and the pilot held the nose down, kept the guns firing. And next thing you know, there were trees coming up, and he pulled up high, and we came right through the top of the pine tree.
Wow.
Which, if it had been out on the outer wing, we wouldn't be here.
Wow. Well, you made it and continued on the next mission?
Beg your pardon?
And you continued on to your last mission, the 17th mission?
Yes, yes.
And when did you exit the service?
And enter the service?
Exit. When did you leave?
I discharged in January of 45.
Did you continue on in any aviation after that?
No.
No?
I went back to college.
Did you, what'd you get a degree in?
Landscape architecture.
You ever get an opportunity to ever fly in a B-25 again?
No, but, well, I had the opportunity, but I didn't feel I could afford it. They're terribly expensive to ride in. And besides, you sat in the back, they had makeshift seats. You couldn't see anything. When we were during the war, flying in the Pacific, the windows on either side of the plane were open. Our guns were attached to the window. You had a great opportunity to see visually out to the side, but you didn't see anything front or back.
Wow.
And I didn't feel it was worthwhile to pay somebody to fly it in the seat just for the sake that you were doing it again.
Awesome. What's your most memorable experience during the war?
Flying out over the Pacific, it is so awesome, so vast. You just fly for hours and you don't see anything but water. I was more frightened with the Pacific than I was with the enemy.
So that would definitely have to try your skills then as a radio operator on the ocean, and you and the navigator? Actually,
as a radio operator, we didn't, you didn't use the radio unless an emergency.
Oh, really?
And
so you're just on standby?
Right. You're primarily a gunner out there.
Okay. So did you ever shoot any planes?
No, but I shot up a locomotive on a low-level mission.
Did it explode?
Yes, it did.
Wow.
Yes, it did.
That'd have been definitely an adrenaline rush, I suppose. They're probably shooting back, possibly.
Yeah, but we had a few bullet holes in the plane, but nothing major. I did recharging the gun one time, drew a lot of blood out of that thumb, and tail gunner said, you're going to get the Purple Heart now. And I said, well, no way, I wouldn't think of turning in something like that to get a Purple Heart.
Well, thank you very much. What do you think of Honor Flight?
I thought it was wonderful. Just marvelous people handling it.